Hello, friends and fans. Welcome to A Gotta Getaway. If you're new here, I'm Lena. If you're returning, welcome back. Today's video is actually a request from one of my followers. I'm often recommending Meta full shirt skirts in my closet capsule wardrobe videos. And Meta skirts, if you don't know about them, first of all, the brand's full name is Metamorpse, temp, fille. I think I said that correctly. French is not my strong suit. But they do these skirts that are full elastic in the waist. They're very size inclusive, I want to say. They're plus size friendly-ish. Most of them max at around 40 inches in the waist, which is like, you know, maybe a US 16. Depends on the individual person. You do have to have either a smaller bust or waist to get it on you that's smaller than the max. I know I have a bunch of friends who are plus size that actually take these and use them to modify them. There's a single seam on one side, so they turn into aprons really easily and stuff like that. For this video, I'm going to be using this skirt that I have. I don't know the name of the print itself, but Meta does these elastic skirts almost every year. They do a couple of different versions. Some of them are very simple skirts with the border print. Some of them have no border and they're just the scatter print. My best guess is I believe Meta uses whatever scrap fabric they have from the previous year's releases to make these skirts just so that there's minimal waste. And I really appreciate that. I do something similar for my shop, but because they are made out of scrap fabric, they're only, I think, 20 inches in total length, including the waistband. So they can be a bit hard to coordinate if you are a taller Lolita. And so today I'm going to go over a few tips and tricks about like how to coordinate with them and make use of them. They just did a drop of these style skirts from last year's prints, and I so tempted to get some. But you can find these really easily secondhand. I'll leave more information down in the guide below. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into building our first outfits. Okay, so here's the first coordinate. I wanted to keep the first one as casual as possible, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know I'm wearing the same socks and shoes for every outfit because the color palette I wanted to choose, again, because I'm using the same skirt for all of them. I'm using mint, white / off-white, and then gold because the skirt does have like a dull gold trim on the bottom. So just pulling from that, I went ahead and I grabbed a plain mint / cerulean blue colored t-shirt that I have from my closet. I added a ivory vintage belt that I have just because I want to try and hide that shirring elastic. It's not always the most aesthetic thing to see just like a bunch of ruched elastic at your waist. So one tip that you'll see me do with every single one of these coordinates is I always put on a belt. Because this is a more casual coordinate, I'm wearing just a very low poof, actually a Leg Avenue petticoat. It's only got about 2 layers of crinoline, but you can still see I have that petticoat little bit of bell shape going on. It helps that I have a very curvy bottom. If you do not have as many natural assets, then I would recommend maybe going for something more mid-poof. These skirts do have a fair bit of volume in them, but again, it depends on how close you are to the max measurement of the waist for these. So like if you are absolutely at 40 inches in the waist, then, you know, which is like around 100 centimeters-ish, then you're not going to get quite as much poof from these skirts. I'm at like 36-ish in my waist. I couldn't tell you what that is in centimeters off the top of my head. I cannot remember. I only ever look at the bust measurements for things these days. But anyway, I'm wearing just a very simple bodyline headpiece to kind of bring the whole Lolita look together, even though this is extremely casual. Because it is more casual, I'm okay with like how high this skirt is. This is the big problem with bodyline skirts, is the fact that they are super short. Now, I'm only 5 feet tall, and it's already about 2 inches above my knee, just wearing it as is. Now, I could wear it a little bit lower. It's sitting right at my natural waist. I have it up higher, and I'm wearing longer stockings. That way it creates the illusion kind of that it's angled, that it's a little bit longer. I'm also like the camera's angled slightly down, so you can't see exactly how short it is. But that's one trick, is like wearing longer socks so that it looks like more of your knee is covered. And just using a shorter petticoat is for the more casual thing, because the larger the petticoat, the higher the skirt's going to be raised. I don't know if that'll make sense. If it doesn't make sense right now, it will in this next outfit. So for this next coordinate, I've dropped the skirt down a little bit lower. I used the vest to make my torso look a bit longer and also change where the waistline would fall. The way the skirt is actually just at my knee right now. So you can see it just dropping where it actually sits on me, changed the length problem a little bit. This is, again, kind of a more casual coordinate. I wanted to go a little bit more classic with this one, especially because, like, I love exploring the versatility of these pieces. This print could be sweet, it could be classic. Sweet because of the colorway, classic because of the theme, and so on. I mean, I also could do a gothic coordinate, but it ended up being really pastel goth with the colors we're playing with here. But anyway, so I've paired this with an Axis Femme blouse, a thrifted vest that I have. He's got real pockets. It's kind of nice. They're little pockets, but they're real, and I'll take that. Most of the accessories I'm wearing are off-brand. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any questions about this, like, the main thing I just wanted to highlight was, like, just dropping it down. Oh, the other thing I've changed is my petticoat. I have a little bit more poof. The skirt doesn't have quite as many, like, it doesn't crease in as much, because I've changed to my Aurora and Ariel. I think this is the 60 centimeter petticoat. It's their medium poof one. This is the plus size version, which is they have like a standard size, a plus size, and you can also do custom sizing ish depending on them. I think that they do have like a cap for how large they're willing to go for their petticoats, but I have the rainbow one because of course I do. I really love this petticoat. This is one of my go-tos for meta skirts if I'm wearing just the skirt as a skirt by itself. I have one other petticoat that I wear pretty often with my meta skirts, and I'll show you that in this next coordinate. Okay, so for this coordinate, I wanted to get a little bit fancier, and boy, am I regretting not putting my sock guard on before I started filming, but anyway, ignoring my socks. So the last petticoat I have, you can actually see it peeking out with some intention. This is my Tululu cage petticoat. It's got two hoops that are adjustable, and it's actually my daily petticoat. This is the one I go to for almost any time I want to dress up and leave the house wearing Lolita. And so most of the time you cannot see the lace, and so this really shows you just how short the meta skirts are in comparison to every other Lolita dress I own. But because this petticoat has such cute little lace on the trim, I do love using it as kind of an accent for when I'm wearing my meta skirts. Sometimes I'll pull my skirts a little bit lower so that it's peeking out just barely. And because I'm wearing a corset or a little whoopsie, I don't know. People have been trying to correct me how to say, I don't know how to say it. This just little belt style corset. It holds it in place well enough while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I wanted to get a little bit more classic and dressy with my dress, outfit, cord, whatever. So I'm wearing one of my Axis Femme overlay garments, which I think really helps also like play with the different layering and the dimensions and like how the skirt looks, because this is obviously much longer than the skirt, and so like I'm trying to play with the eye and proportions and where things land so that the skirt itself doesn't look so out of place, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense here, but I really love this coordinate. This is definitely like, I don't know, in between different styles. I've been doing a lot of more peasant style things. I'm super into nightcore right now, but you know, just added a little bit of more romantic jewelry to make it more of a dressy kind of coordinate, I guess. Let's go on to the next one. So I would say this counts as a more advanced layering tip. What I've done is I've put the skirt over a normal JSK. That way the bottom of the dress is what's peeking out underneath the skirt. That way I get the much needed added length, that just to, you know, make sure that it is the more, you know, recommended Lolita measure or whatever. For the theme of this, I decided to go full kind of princessy with my I Do Declare Starry Halo. I put a bunch of flowers in my hair, and of course I've got a belt to hide that elastic waist. I thought about just using the waist ties that came with the JSK, but then it would only kind of hide the back or the front, because I could use them to tie a front bow, but I wanted to have a different color to break it all up, and I wanted to add more ivory into this because I've got so many white, stark whites. You know, some people will say don't mix white and ivory, and I'm just like, work with what you got. Color matching will be your nightmare if you let it be your nightmare. So I've just added more of those cream tones with the flowers in my hair. I have more. Let's do another example of adding length to this skirt. So this last outfit ended up being more shades of white / off-white than I initially had thought it was going to be, like in lighting that's not my camera. These two colors look white, the blouse and the skirt. This is obviously a cream color. I knew that. This is ivory. It's very not super buttery ivory, but it's very ivory. Anyway, so my last tip / trick for coordinating meta skirts is to get an underskirt. I love my long ear, sharp ears underskirts that I have. They are full elastic waist with a drawstring if you need to cinch them in place. And my favorite part about it is, let me see, there's actually a set of snaps. So you can like have just the underskirt, which is this first layer here, and it be like a simpler skirt. And that under layer is actually just about the size of the meta skirt, but again, because it's a pretty loose elastic waist, I could pull it a little lower and just use that as opposed to having the longer train underneath, which I mean, I love T-length garments, which is why I live and die by these underskirts, because it turns everything and anything into a T-length garment. And actually, like, if you hide the cream, like the white goes so well with the white that's in the print, even though it's kind of like, there are so many different colors in here. There are those more yellowy colors, which is one of the reasons why I keep pulling ivory into this. I topped everything off with a tiara this time, just because Castle's tiara princess makes sense. The blouse, I believe, is Sakurada Fawn. I'm 95% sure that that's where I got this blouse from. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful to anybody who needs some tips and tricks to styling a meta skirt and, you know, is struggling with it. I love them. I love skirts just because they're so versatile. I have too many meta skirts in my closet because, like, even if you go back and watch all of my capsule closet videos, there are a couple that you'll see show up a few times just because I wear them so much. But then this one, you guys have never seen this skirt, and there are so many other meta skirts like that where I just have them in my closet, and I need to get better about taking photos of all of my outfits to go onto Instagram. If you want to see all of the outfits in this video, I took outfit photos. They're all planning on putting them up on the Instagram probably right before this video goes live, so you can see them there and follow me for more casual outfits and everything above and below and in between. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun putting this together. I think I figured out why this blouse looks like a different color. It's because it's actually very transparent. So my flesh tone is making it look less white than it actually is. So that's interesting. Anyway, whether you're new or old here, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I have a Discord if you'd like more of my nonsense. I try and be active on there. I am constantly working on my shop stuff though, so I'm not as active as I would like to be, but you guys are welcome to join and come and hang out. We do a lot of craft along kind of nonsense stuff. And yeah, I think that's everything. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!